Hi gang, Tim here. We're going to work on understanding the Project 1 and Project 3 submissions as far as how these presentations are going to be shared with others so that they can give you feedback so that you can then develop a final project, a final presentation. So first of all, the instructions and the guidelines. They can be found in 3 different places. The first place that you can find information on Project 1 and 3 are on pages 14 and 16 of your syllabus. It very clearly lays out what the assignment is, what's expected. There on page 14, and then on page 16 you'll see that Project 1 and 3. The other area that you can find this is in your Blackboard course. Underneath course information, you will find instructions, as well as under assignments you'll find instructions for Project 1 and Project 3 right here, all laid out for you. And I want to show you at the end of the Project 1 instructions is the scoring guide for Project 1. Same thing for Project 3. Here are the Project 3 instructions. You can see right there everything's laid out for you, and there's the scoring guide for Project 3. Now the reason I'm pointing this out is you're going to want to refer to these instructions often. It's very clear on creating the PowerPoint presentation, or if you so choose, you can create a Prezi presentation. It's going to require you to put notes in the notes section of each PowerPoint slide. Let me show you what that looks like here. I'm going to open a PowerPoint slide here. This is a presentation that I'm working on. And nope, don't want to do that. Let's see, there we go. And so we're going to go up here. Here's the initial slide. Now I want you to look down here at the bottom. Let me see if I can pull this in a little bit for you. Look down here at the bottom of my PowerPoint. Underneath there, there's a notes section. You're going to want to open that notes section, expand it a bit. Here's where you're going to add comments, where you're going to add rationale, where you're going to add all these different components related to that particular slide. And we're going to be looking for extensive notes. We need to see rationale. We need to see that you understand what you're talking about in the slide itself. So the slide itself is where you're going to be adding the images. It's where you're going to be adding the different descriptors. And then in the notes section, that's where you're going. Down here in the notes section is where you're going to be adding that rationale. Now, please remember to not add media. Do not add sound. Do not add video to these presentations, especially the ones that we have to download to watch. And here's why. You do have a size limitation when it comes to creating that. It cannot be above 10 megabytes. And half the time when we add a video or when we add an audio clip, something doesn't work for the people that are downloading it and looking at it. So these are going to be fairly simple. We're just going to stick with pictures, and you need to make sure that your pictures are appropriately sized. If you're taking the pictures with a 13 MP camera, you may want to turn the resolution down, because one 13 MP photo can easily be 5 megs. That's half your presentation. So just make sure that as you're creating these, you're keeping the instructions right there in front of you. Now let's take a quick look at the discussion forum, because this magic is all going to happen in the discussion forum. So we go into the discussion board here, and you'll scroll down, week 1, week 2, week 3. There we go, Project 1. Now the first thing you're going to do when you get into Project 1 is create a thread where you can upload the first draft of your presentation. Okay, now we're using the word draft lightly here. Tim's Project 1 first draft. We're using the term draft lightly. We need to have something really close to a final product for your colleagues to give you feedback on. I don't want to see feedback like there's a misspelled word. I don't want to see feedback that says half your picture is hanging off of the slide. I don't want to see that feedback. I want to see feedback like this was really well developed and addressed in as far as and covered as far as looking at the concepts of this project. Here are some ideas from my practice on how you might improve on that. So we're not using our buddies to find misspelled words and tell us that a PowerPoint slide doesn't work. That's not what the feedback is about. The feedback is about going deeper with the topic. So if you upload a presentation that's really well done, really well put together, we're going to be getting good feedback. But if your initial presentation is not that well done, it could affect your grade. So we want a really good, well thought out, well developed first draft. So we can just, we don't need to say much here, just looking forward to great comments and feedback. Thanks much, Tim B. And then down here, browse my computer. This is where you're going to find that attachment that you've just created. And so mine happens to be right, let's see here. Where's that PowerPoint? There we go. Open. There we go. And I can actually now scroll down and hit my submit button, and my file will be loaded there. And so just make sure that before you upload your PowerPoint here, you've saved everything, everything is there where you want it, etc. Now, when you're going in to look at your colleagues' initial posts, remember you've got to find 2 people that have not yet had feedback. Okay, so if Tim's already had feedback by someone, you have to move on to the next person. And again, early bird gets the worm. So the people that are posting their projects first are going to get feedback first. And as soon as you go in there to give feedback, you can do that. So here we're going to hit reply. We're going to give Tim feedback. My feedback to Tim. And here's where I'm going to lay out some very well developed feedback. And there are guidelines in the assignment on how to give this feedback very clearly. Okay, and we use the word substantial here. We really want substantial feedback. So once all the feedback is distributed, is inserted here, and you'll see the due dates. The due dates are all there in the assignment. Then you take a look at your presentation that you've created. Your Prezi, your PowerPoint, you make some additions, you make some edits. You do need to make some edits. You can't say, well, everybody loved it, it's good to go. No, everybody needs to give you ideas for improvement. You need to use one of those ideas at least. And update your PowerPoint, reload your PowerPoint as a reply to your main post. Okay, so I'm going to be looking, when I look for all of Tim's posts in the discussion forum, I'm going to see, okay, there's where he loaded his initial one, and there's where he loaded his revision. It's right there under the initial post. So okay, so there you have it. I hope that you will take a close look. Never hesitate to go back and never hesitate to go back into the discussion forum and to ask the instructor. You can get ideas from me. You can email me. You can call me. So I'm really looking forward to these projects. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with them. As nurses, it's really going to expand the way that you look at informatics in healthcare. So thank you so much, and have a great day.